Hey, welcome everybody to Open Mic, Battle Pirates Crib. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. It seems like so long ago that we ended the Wednesday show, and we had so many things happen in the meantime. From Engagement Gate, which happened, we were starting to see happen right at the end of last show, followed by whatever was going on with the raid targets when they first started off. They've changed quite a bit. But let me go ahead and introduce everybody from left to right. Toxic. Oh, Toxic's on mute.
Good day, Mike.
So, Mike's doing his Toxic impression.
How are we all?
Good. Good morning. And Magic Mike.
Hello, y'all.
Watchman.
Hi, everyone.
Ben.
Hello, everyone.
And Aaron.
How we going?
Oh, pretty good. And this is Hefe. I guess we'll probably want to start off with the raid. Engagement Gate is a little too complicated, and it's only a couple of points I want to make out of that. And I want to wait for George to show up because he's been making posts about we happen to have a second Brennus Bat Ray that I would sort of like to see why he's making those posts before we talk about them. So I know how the raid started for everybody, but how is it going now?
Well,
I've found a quiet place and I'm using it, and I'm just going to grind and be done with it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. A little more details.
I'm hitting the 89 blitz targets for 800K a shot for less than 10 minutes repairing the dock, and rinse and repeat.
And what fleet are you using?
Bat race decked out.
Okay.
And
Alrighty.
seemed to work pretty good.
Okay.
Boring? Boring? Yes, boring.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, I got home from work last night, had dinner, and I thought I'd go and see what the raid's doing. And I didn't put a crew in, I just wanted to test the waters, hit a 110, and had 6 hours and 38 minutes repair. And that's the only target I hit so far. I've got no endeavor of spending money on crazy stuff like that. I just don't get the prize, I guess.
I'm not sure what time that would have been. What time would that have been? East Coast time?
Would have been about 14 hours ago. They're about 13, 14 hours ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would try again, Toxic. I was taking about 3 times the damage on those targets at that point in time than I am now.
Yep,
So I might give it another shot.
Okay, that's what I like. Last time I can't fully remember now, but I think it was between 10 and 20 coins for 100 million, and I was okay with that. But I'm not okay with like 7 coins for one target. So I'll give it another shot. I'll give it another shot after the show.
Yeah, I was getting significantly more damage yesterday. They made some sort of significant change at around 11 o'clock to midnight on East Coast time, which I didn't see into the morning. I was getting over, around between. It was erratic. Sometimes I started off, I was getting like 2 to 3 hours per target, and sometimes I was getting 3 to 4. Now I'm still working on my technique, but I'm getting about 2.5 hours a set for both the 108 and the 110. I have both fleets, but it's a definite improvement. It's not what it was the first raid where I was able to use my bat rays and hit the 100s without the flag or without anything else, and I had 6 minutes of damage in the dock. So it's a far cry from that, but it's way better than it was yesterday when the raid started.
Yeah, I'm in Gamma, and we start about 2 hours after the Alpha. Now, I missed the first hour and a half from when we started, so it's about 3.5 hours into the raid starting because I was still working. I got on, thought I'd test the waters, went into a 110 with my Razor fleet, full Razor fleet, all the toys on it, and it melted. I thought, okay, I'll finish it off with the full bat fleet. That died as well. two fleets in a 110, and I still hadn't killed it. And I went, yeah. So I went onto the forums, left a little message to them that they were greedy pricks, basically. Came back, and then I turned back round and carried on working again. And then I see something come up. Someone said they dropped the damage, so I stuck a grease monkey on, done a quick repair on the bat rays. Went into 108. I managed to kill that quite easily. I only had a 2-coin repair, but I just blitzed it. Fuck it, and I've been working all day today, and I'm going to be working all weekend. And it's this show starts at 12 o'clock midnight for me, so I'm now sort of I'm finishing work for the day, and I can get on here, but it's allowing me to work rather than grind. I'm earning money now. So, but yeah, once I got that 108, and I thought, yeah, because I thought I was out of this raid when it was that stupid. When they turned it up to 11 and just went crazy, everyone was fuming about it. But yeah, I really thought my game was over. I'll be honest with you. I thought if this is it, I'm not paying for this sort of damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they made several small incremental steps originally, and then it appeared at that point at like 11, like 11 p.m. my time, they made some sort of radical, much bigger step towards solving the situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, if if you're in the situation that sounds like a lot of you guys were in, and hit the 108s and the 110s, and we're like, I'm not trying these again. These are bullshit. They'd have made some changes, but like I said, it may not be enough for everybody, but it's way better than it was.
Yeah, I mean, well, I can do the 108s now. I mean, with a grease monkey crew on for about a 2-coin repair, but other people might be able to do it better. I'm not claiming to be the greatest driver in the world, but that was okay. But I blitzed them anyway because I just wanted to get the bloody raid out of the way, and I can get on with some, as I said, get on with my life again. Because all I had to do is then claim the prizes, start refitting some Conqueror fleets with the new armor, and start the new hulls building. The Eradicator, and that, and I've only logged in a couple of times a day just to check that my researches are going for the VXP tokens and stuff. That's it. It's give me a break.
Okay. Ben, how are you doing?
I basically walked away yesterday after being put in jail, forums and Discord. I'm back at it today. I'm grinding my sweet spot up 35 mil now, but after one target yesterday, I walked away.
Yeah, I didn't walk away. I stopped, I stopped hitting the targets because it was like, I had, 4 hours of repair. And then I tried again after the second time that they reduced the damage. And then it was like, okay, now I got, I got all this damage now. And then I just went to bed and, and in the morning it was better. So I'm not, saying it's a solution for everybody. The other potential solution is the 104, 106. I'm getting about the same damage on each one of them. Well, at least on the 104 with the bat rays, I'm getting right around an hour. And on the 108s with the bat rays, I'm getting right about an hour at this point. So they're both about the same. And the only bright side I see in that, because 1 hour seems to be excessive if you spend all these time, refitting, I don't even know how many limited components I have on my fleets. It's crazy. The number of limited weapons, components that I have on them, and still, not really doing that great.
Yeah, I've got all the Flying Dutchman toys are on mine as well, that we won there. So
Yeah, and I completely refit a ship to create one that was work well with, maximize the use of the antis, and then I, putting on the the nail heads and the gathering storms, and then all the other little doodads, and or bits and bobs as TSM would call them. And it's still an hour. I might improve, but still an hour seems a little bit much, but it's an improvement. And I don't think we need that many points in this raid if you are caught up. If you're caught up on a lot of stuff, it's I'm looking at like 130 million.
I took the Defender flag. I don't know why. I just took it anyway for another 60 million. I mean, I blitzed 369 million. Yeah. The thing is, if we don't know if they're going to drop anything else in, because normally a few days in they normally drop something else in. I mean, I've still got to spend. Let's have a look. I've got 150 million points left. Yeah. Now, if they don't drop anything else in, I'll just grab some Hyper 30s, whatever they are. Is it the Hyper? I'll grab a few more of those because they're always useful. So,
Yeah.
And if I need, I can always do a quick blitz again.
The prices are they're crazy. 25 million.
Oh, I don't want to spend it on that
for a special. That's crazy.
I don't want to spend on that. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's a ridiculous amount of money for that's the specials, and then a piece of armor is worth more than like hulls used to be worth.
Yeah, 30 million for the armor. So that they made it that there's no tokens now, so that you can't use tokens to put that on. It's a tier 7. It's the last tier 7 armor, and they're making it super hard to get.
Yeah.
What do you do if they want to get people back into PvP? Yet they make the armor so hard to get, and they know you need the raid hull for the next raid, and the special and the weapon. Why are they making it so expensive?
I have no idea of their thought processes. This is, I think this all the time. Everybody doing this raid needs to win the hull for the next raid, or the going forward. Yeah, if people don't do it, don't win it. They can't do it. So I don't know why they try and make it so difficult. This is the one where they should be almost giving it away.
I think they struggle to balance. Like anything that they do, they struggle to find that sweet spot between the points that they hand out and the points needed to get the prize. They just really do struggle to find that sweet spot where it's people are happy to coin to get there, but they're not going to coin that amount that they're doing. It's just they really need to look at the way they balance things.
Oh, I wouldn't have coined that original damage. That's why I thought, fuck, there's some out of this game. You know what I mean? And I've still got nearly 4,000 gold sitting in my account. Yeah, but even with that amount and 24 Grease Monkey Crews, right? I still wasn't going to fucking pay that amount. Sorry for my language, yeah, but that was outrageous. That damage.
Yeah.
I was furious with it.
What I think now is that's the reason why they threw the 120 in. So that the coiners get some of the little guys in there and do it for them, and the little guys get the points, and then they can get whatever they want. But it ain't gonna work. Not if you turn the heat up that much, then
Yeah, I mean the other issue is that I was sort of going to bring up based on what Watchman said is the way they adjusted the damage really encouraged people to blitz, which is a boon for them. And everybody's willing to feel free to spend your money however you want, but I'm not talking about the people that have 2.5 2.5 billion points or whatever it is now.
I know that's crazy. I ain't going there.
Well, what I'm saying is, I would wait to personally, if I was going to blitz something, I would blitz what I needed,
Yeah.
and then wait till the game is balanced, and then blitz the rest of it. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
not to encourage bad behavior. That's all I'm saying. But everybody has their own choices on how they want to do things.
from my perspective, yeah, today I had to get 2 weddings finished editing. Yeah, they were luckily only short ones, and I managed to, I've got them done. Yeah, tomorrow I've got to start another one. I've got to get 10 weddings finished editing before Christmas, and delivered to the customers. So I've got a shit ton of work. So I haven't got 6 days to be grinding out, and I get paid for editing every single one of these. It's all money for me, and I'd lose money. I would lose a few £1,000 if I was grinding.
No, it's not really what I'm saying. I'm saying
from me, I can't afford to grind.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I was just saying, blitz what you need at the beginning, but wait till I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm just saying, like, I think it's reinforcing bad behavior, but on their part. Yeah. But it's being done all over the place. So it's what it is, and it's.
I totally agree, but it depends on the position that you're in. The people that are getting 1 billion or plus points, I've got no idea what their thought, what their logic is, where they're going with it.
I'm assuming their 6-year-old is in charge of the, but I could be wrong, but
Yeah, but what kicks don't get is, the people that are coining to these billions and billions, 2.5 billion points, these are the same guys who are going to coin no matter what. So, if you're lowering the damage or lowering the points, they're still going to spend that amount of money. They just want to be at the top. And it's going to bring the non-coiners, the mid-coiners back into play where they're happy to spend that kind of money. Like they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot in not trying to encourage the lower level coiners to spend their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my point. I was trying to bring out is, like, those guys are going to do it anyways. But so many people were really upset. They're like, I'm not going to spend anything on this raid. And so they've made the changes, but it took them. It actually didn't really take them that long. It took them about 8 hours out of a 6-day raid to make this choice. But it pissed off a lot of people, and it seems like a lot of people on this panel and in chat didn't realize how extensive the changes they made were to the 108 and 110, because either they blitzed it or people gave up and got pissed off and walked away. So, it's I don't know.
Now, by the time I got back in, they'd done the change. So when I hit the 108, I could do it for 2 coin repair. By the time I got back into it again, because I work
two coin with the grease monkey.
Yeah, with the grease monkey, but I wasn't. I stuck a grease monkey on, and I had to, because I had 16 hours repair on both fleets. Well,
what about the people that said, "Well, bugger this"?
Well, I almost
switched the thing off, and they're not going to switch it back on now.
Yeah, well, I was almost in the same boat myself, but lucky enough that came up because I said, "Look, it's no good you fixing it tomorrow, the day after, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be working." But yeah, once I got back on and I see that they toned it down to a reasonable level, I went in and just went bang, 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 blitzed it, and that was it. But as I said, I don't blitz crazy.
Okay. Let's move on to some of the new people as far as their approach in the raid. Hi, Lord, and Father George, and anybody else join us? No, this is 2 of you guys.
Hello.
Howdy. How's your raid going? What's your approach? And
it's a slow going process. I got like 30 yesterday, and then this morning I got on and I got the other 30 so I could start the new ship. And then after the show, I'll go back and get a couple more. I'll get the cannon. I'm just doing a slow process. It's 6 days. I don't understand these guys with like 2 billion points. For one, there's nothing to spend it on. For two, you're out of your mind, But, to each their own. That's their will, and they can do whatever they wish. But the barrel system, I'm not even impressed with. It I'm gonna get it by the end, but I don't know if I'll use it right away because high velocity rounds is much better, and the nuke accelerator. So the barrel system just gives that little bonus. So I don't know. I'm gonna pick it up at the end, but I'm not in a rush to get that. So I'm just taking my time, and I'll get what I need, but I don't need much. I mean, if you really break it down, I just need the new hull and the plate, and then I don't see anything else that I need.
You don't want the cannon?
No, I need the cannon. I'm gonna get the new setup, and then the plate.
Okay, yeah.
And the plate 3. So that's pretty much all I need, unless they add something else, because I don't need any of the other crap.
Yeah. That's what I said earlier before you got on. Is like I see it as 130 million points that you really need.
Yep.
And I don't really see a need for much of the rest of the stuff. But I would expect later tonight, tomorrow probably, we'll see additional prizes. I keep on pushing, even though I actually have 6 Inferno Dragons and Agretas. I'm pushing for them to release tokens at a reasonable rate for people that are still building them.
Yeah, they should be like 2 million. Everybody, they should have like 5 or 10 for the guys that need them to catch up.
The tokens are appalling in this raid so far. Look, whatever happened to the generic tokens that you could use just to, change, refit things?
We haven't had. I think they stopped them at the start of this year, didn't they? We haven't had them since.
The only way you get them is in your FM.
Yeah, the weekly. Yeah. And you know what? I've never had more than a 2 and 1.
Yeah, me either.
No, me neither.
I've had a 2 and 2, and I actually had a 9-day. Just.
Yeah. I had a 2 and 2 twice, but that was in my early 20s. So yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, been there, done that.
In your 20s. Let's see. What Battle Pirates wasn't here then.
I've got my Eradicator build saved. Obviously, I'm just building a blank hull at the moment, and I've still got last week's tokens left from the FM anyway. I haven't used them yet, so
Hoarder.
I'm hoping to have 4 blanks built for VXP, and then they're going to throw a flag at us anyway, aren't they? So
Yeah. And now you brought up the flag. There's a very important thing. A lot of people have generic siege tokens from TLCs and whatnot. Don't use them at this point in time until we see the flag.
Yeah.
And that's you're going to be able to use that on the flag.
I'm just.
I only have 13 days. I'm on to bet that Magic Mike has 99.
Now
I don't think so.
Okay.
Obviously, not everyone's said anything yet. How their raid's going. So, but I just want to put one other little bit in. Is if they're going to release the flag, are they going to drop in an extra tier VXP weekend to get that ranked?
I think somebody said they were right at the somebody Lardo or whoever he mentioned the other day on the show in side comms. You don't see it on this page.
Yep.
But he said there will be a VXP after that TLC.
He was projecting, and Laredo.
Laredo, whatever.
He was.
I like Lardo
Let's
better.
run with Lardo.
He was guessing just like everybody else.
Well, I don't know if it's for sure, but just from what he said,
It makes sense that they would. But so can I rant now or like I'm just patiently waiting because I'm.
What do you mean? Can you rant?
You don't get thrown in the quiet room.
Go, George.
I'm waiting. Is Hefe here? Because I want to.
No, I'm here. I was going to ask you, what are you going to rant on yet at this point?
Oh, the whole raid setup and the raid and all that other stuff.
Okay, because I have another question for you related to the what I'm calling engagement gate. So I want to keep that for a little bit later. So don't get into engagement gate at this point in time, but feel free to rant on the rave.
No,
raid.
I mean, I'm at 30 million. I don't know that I want to continue playing. I don't know that I want to continue playing. Because I saw this post, and I don't know how the hell I missed it. I don't even know where it is, but Dr. Death posted it somewhere, and I read it, and it said, it was from Kixeye Chris. I said, raids are the most difficult part of Battle Pirates. I believe that always been the case, or at least it's intended to be the case. That's also the rate at which you've had the Bat Ray and Razor Tails the longest, plus everyone just got a full fleet for free. So this is the time at which players are the most equipped to take on the targets, blah, blah, blah. Listen, That's not how it fucking works. When I play a game and I have my top shit and I've earned it and I've played with it, I expect it to be easier, not fucking harder. That's not how it fucking works.
And the fleet they
Okay.
gave is a piece of shit.
I agree, George. Keep going.
Hold on.
Sorry.
To bring up the fleet that they fucking gave for free, that was their error, as though that justifies increasing the damage to this asinine fucking level. I am not happy.
And it was a crappy fleet.
It's also a piece of shit.
Yeah, the build sucks, but I am absolutely livid because that's the kind of response that we got way away from with Kixeye for over a year now. The condescending fucking, this is how it's gonna be, and that's how, no, this is not how games work. When you get the best shit, you get the game becomes easier. If I'm playing fucking, I don't know, a Dungeons and Dragons thing, and my fucking character goes up to like level 20 and gets like a magic battle axe and all of this shit, I'm chopping fucking motherfuckers in half, not getting fucking my arms chopped off.
Yeah. I was bringing that up earlier because, like, in the first raid, I was able to use my bat rays and kill the 100 without the flagship, without all the magic and, hocus pocus. I was able to kill a 100 for 6 minutes in my base. And then in the second raid, I was able, also with my bat rays, I was able to kill the 100s for instant repair on the map. And I spent a lot of time reworking these bat rays, adding new stuff on them. And, I don't think I've ever had this many limited components on a single fleet. And now, early in the day yesterday, I was getting about 3 hours or 2.5, 3 hours of damage. Before I went from 6 minutes to instant repair to now 2.5 hours. Right now I'm down to a little bit over an hour. But we had that whole thing going on yesterday, which was craziness with because I have a fairly highly developed fleet.
I would like to know
and to have
it did.
That's sort of like, oh wow,
no,
what just happened?
The reason why I say that is because yesterday when it was at the top max damage, whatever bullshit, I did target for 4 hours of damage on auto, right? And I thought that was horrendous, and everyone's like, I'm losing my fleet and all this other shit, and I'm like, what's going on? And then after the change and all that crap, last night I tried 2 of them back to back, and I did 2 of them for 6 hours of damage on auto. So there's not that big of a change on my fleet, at least. But again, why is the damage this fucking high? I mean, people were asking if the 100s are going to be on the map for a reason. If I were the company, I'd go, why is everyone asking for that? And I sure as shit am not going to have the friggin' attitude of, oh, well, everyone wants everything for free, because we sure as shit weren't doing the 100s for free.
Hi, Lord, stop it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, George.
Well, that was it. That's my.
I don't know what he was doing, but he was doing something.
Now you can ask me about the engagement thing because I want to go eat. It's been a rough last 2 days. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying. It makes sense, as far as, we are progressing and we think we're progressing correctly, but it appears that we are,
we're digressing.
I put something on Discord. I'm like, am I doing it wrong?
Yeah, we're not progressing. We're digressing. We're going back.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
as I said, I logged in. I hit them when the damage was up. Yeah. When I went over to the forums because I thought, fuck this. Went over to the forums. I saw that post that you saw, George, and and I posted on the forums basically, and I actually said, you lot of you're greedy pricks. Basically, you're fucking this. You're ruining this, for everybody. And then I come back a few hours later, and fortunately they had toned it down. But at the time I was livid, and I was ready to quit the game. I was ready to walk away at that. I was just so fucking angry with it, and with that response that we got from the CN.
Yeah.
I didn't see that until last night.
Yeah.
I mean, I was beside myself reading that thing.
But George, you made the point. There was a lot of people out there who got that free fleet. When they saw the free fleet, they thought, well, wow, I might just actually coin this because I've got a chance. Then they turn on, they come onto the game, and they're getting absolutely fucked
I'm
over.
going to tell you
And they're
right
going,
now.
what's the point
Yeah,
in this?
that's exactly a good point, because I had a ton of people. I know people that weren't really like, didn't have a full fleet of anything ready. They were a little bit behind. They got that shit and they're like, "Ooh, it's a raid hull. It's a store raid, and I got a fleet now. I might coin. Is there a coin deal coming?" Da, da, da. Like a lot of activity. And the first day, KIXEYE fucked it. They screwed the pooch, and that was the dumbest ass thing they could have done. I mean, as a company, that is, if I wanted to make money, I would have turned my mistake into an opportunity instead of shoving it up someone's ass.
Yeah, and that's sort of you said you're going to go eat. Are you going to come back in a bit or no?
I'm going to see what you had for the question, because I'm going to pop off and I don't know.
Okay,
I might sit and listen while I'm eating. I don't know.
Okay. No, the question I had, we're sort of skipping ahead because you've been making posts about the that you need to scrap your if you happen to get during engagement gate your second Brennus.
You have 2 Brennuses. There is there's something that they found in the game that was supposed to be working that wasn't, or something like that. So essentially what they found was a bug that they've been correcting, and the correction's supposed to have come out either this week or next week. Since it didn't come out this week, it's going to come out next week. The problem is the consequence of that is part of it runs with some of the other stuff that they run in the background in the game, and it prevents you from launching fleets at all if you have exceeded the numbers of what you're supposed to have. So if, like, for the Brennus Bat Ray, for example, if you have 2 of them and you're only supposed to have 1, it's going to prevent you from launching any of them onto the map. And the thing is, there's no timeline for that. It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be Monday, it could be Tuesday. I don't know. I guessed Tuesday because that's when they usually roll out the fucking updates, but I don't know.
I didn't get the bat ray. I just got the 5. I didn't get the flag. You know, the Brennus.
Yeah, you weren't logged in at that point. It was only for people that watch the show live on the Wednesday.
I was working. Sorry, guys. But
it's okay. But
George gave the heads up about it.
But
I got a lot of shit for that, and I'm like, the first thing that popped up on my screen was tokens of appreciation. The first 5 screens were tokens of appreciation. The last one is the one that said welcome back. Well, how in the fuck am I supposed to know that that's not a, I don't know. Anyway.
I think the point is the point that you were trying to get to as well, and everything. If you scrap it, you should get to keep the special, shouldn't you?
You should keep the specials.
All of the stuff.
And the thing is,
a lot of people are like, oh, it's disingenuous for you to tell people to scrap shit and da-da. Dude, you can only repair 1 fleet at a fucking time. And honestly, the specials on that thing, the Cormorant and the Gales, are going to do way better on your anti-ship than that piece of shit that they sent you.
Yeah.
So be pissy all you want.
And that brings me to my question, that they should make some sort of, well, number one, they're acting like, having more than 1 special, of a limited item, you can't launch it. Oh, well, but when before did we have that situation? That's point 1. This is the first time. So this is being created for the situation.
No, it's not. No.
Okay, explain what when else.
So part of it runs with the anti-hack stuff that they have, and part of it runs with some other stuff. And they're constantly tweaking it. Well, this happened to happen at the time that they were tweaking a certain part of that. Because they're always working on that code. So it's not active right now. It's supposed to become active. It's going to have the effect of what it's supposed to do. It just happens to run at the same time. It was supposed to actually happen before this week. I don't know if they delayed releasing it because of this or pulled it back because of this. I don't know. I just know that it came up in conversation, and I was like, hey, is it okay if I share this so people have a heads up? And they were like, yeah. So I shared it, and then some people fucking lost their minds apparently, and
Well, I'm not losing my mind, but
no. It was all personal attacks and shit, dude. It wasn't you.
Okay, no, I'm just saying they should make an official announcement, because the last announcement that we got from KIXEYE was regarding the gift that went out from CM Chris, and he's like, we're not going to take anything back from the people that got it originally. And so that gives people like, okay, if I already have a Brennus bat ray, maybe I will take these crappy bat rays that they gave us with it, and I'll refit them. I'll make them so I have two fleets to do TLCs and whatever else in the future. And because you can make them much better with 1 day each.
Right. But
you can make them way better with like 3 days each.
Right, but Hefe, I think he said him, Laredo, Templar. I mean, there's a bunch of them that said it on Discord, I believe.
No, but as far as official announcements, that's all I'm saying. I mean, not everybody's catching every word that goes on Discord. All I'm saying is they should make an official announcement of this and not sort of surprise players. Next week, oh, you can't launch this anymore. After you said we can keep it, but we're forcing you to scrap it. It's just you understand my point, right?
You want better communication, yes.
Well, I want communication on this issue because it's going to be, if this happens, it's going to be contrary to what he said. That we can keep everything. Oh, but you need to scrap it. It's sort of contrary to what he's telling us.
Dude, it's Kickside. This is exactly how they say it. They're not taking anything back, but you can't use them. I mean, tell me that's not exactly how it's been for the last 6 years.
Well, it's only the Brennus, isn't it? It's only the Brennus.
It's just the Brennus.
It's only the Brennus, but the Brennus is there's no reason to have 2 fleets of bat rays unless you have 2 Brennuses.
No, I mean that's it. Some people didn't have one,
No, and it's only going to impact the people that already own one.
Yeah.
The people.
Well, look, when I got the fleet, the bat rays, I only had risers. I wasn't going to build 2 fleets. And I'm not going to build 2 fleets now. But when I got them, I thought I'd go and test them. I mean, I hear all these stories. The Brennus can do the target all by himself, map repair, and all that sort of stuff. I'm thinking if I throw them in there, I'll have a fair indication of how good they are. So I got them in a uranium target, and they come out with 32 minutes repair.
Okay, I got.
It's not that bad. So the tokens we got with the TLC, just like Hefe just said, you can probably make a good fleet out of it, or a half decent fleet anyway.
You can. Now I've got. Have you got 1 piece of armor missing of every one of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, all you need to do is put a couple of more countermeasures on one of the ships. Yeah. Drop a piece of armor on each one, and you'll be eating SSRBs.
Actually, I got the 5 gifted to me
of
the regular bat rays.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah.
They auto the SSRB for like 20 minutes damage.
Well, exactly. But if you put a few more countermeasures on, yeah, and a couple of bits and the extra piece of armor, you should be doing them for free repairing the base.
Yeah, it was free in the base.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
32 minutes, Mike took.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are.
That's helped a lot of guys in our alliance because we've got a lot of mid and low levels as well. That couldn't get like uranium that easily. So yeah, I mean, it's going to help like thousands of players I think out there that were struggling with that. Now, of course, we're going to see what's going to happen with titanium after the raid. But yeah, at least uranium should be okay for everybody.
Well, when they did the refactor, they made uranium almost useless. Everything's titanium now to upgrade.
Yeah, and that's one of the hardest things to bloody get, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the new titanium targets don't pay out as well as the last ones.
Yeah.
Actually, the new ones pay out better.
Yeah, no. I didn't think they paid out as well.
Yeah, 68, you get
Sorry.
16K. And the 98, you get 30K. Where the equivalent of that before was like 5,000K for the 65.
The 85 gives 25,000.
Yeah. So it is a little more.
Yeah, right.
Is that what we use the Cadies on?
Yeah, the 95.
And it works. And it works again.
And the 85.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but how many people have got Cadies?
Right.
Oh, like 500 maybe. built.
And I have a feeling that the old titanium targets are going to be gone after the raid.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I mean, there's no confirmation of that, but
Yeah, but historically, that's what they've done.
yeah.
Well, mine's a little more tinfoil hat thinking on that. Wednesday, I was filling up my titanium, and every 85 I hit dropped a Katie's shard.
Yeah, I got quite a few of those. Yeah, when I was filling up. Yeah.
It's about time. I think I hit one in like 9 months.
Oh. Yeah, I looked and thought, oh, that's unusual. Don't normally get them. And then, I mean, I was autoing them. You know, I wasn't checking every single one. I must admit. So, but I did pick up a few. You know? I'm still a long way off of ever building a KDs. I said when they actually done that big drop of KD shards, I had to take a couple of months break, so I missed that completely. You know,
So did
I was just swamped with work, so I didn't manage to get the KDs. So
I had to do it the hard way and get them out of every raid, but every single raid I was getting them.
That's what I did too.
You know, I wanted to make sure I had at least one print of every single one of these things.
I just held off trying to build the stupid thing for too long.
yeah, we've got about 4 players in our alliance that have got the KDs, and they do help if they can. They will and do help others that have been struggling with things. You know, but I mean, you can't expect 4 guys to feed 85.
Yeah. Well, I am gonna pop off to eat for a little bit. I apologize for flipping my shit, but I mean, I'm not. I'm just the whole
Flip it,
combination
dude.
of
Sure,
the way,
you're
the way
fine,
that it
bud.
came out, the way that it came out, and the response that we saw. I mean, I don't know if I want to play, let alone pay anything. So I think that has got to absolutely be looked at and addressed, because this is not the way to keep players playing this game. I mean, that's just it's disrespectful towards the player base. I'm glad that they lowered the damage. I don't know why the hell they started that high, but I think it's still about twice as much as what it should be. So I don't know. But anyway,
Yes.
I'll see if I can hop on for the after show. But yeah, I'll be back, guys.
I agree with you, George, because by the time the end of the cycle comes and our fleets are finally tuned with all the bells and whistles, the targets should be easier. The only targets that should be harder are the new targets for that raid, like the boss targets and the new one that came out. All the old ones should be a lot easier, and we should be able to walk those.
Yeah,
I don't know that they should be harder. I think they should remain static. I mean, if your fleet is improving as the time goes over and the targets are improving, then I should be getting the same damage in the last month as I was in the first month. It should remain static.
Well, I just mean how they have, the 108s and all that other crap. The old ones that we've already hit, those should stay the same. So we should be doing better on those. But the new ones that get introduced, the 2 new ones that keep popping up every raid, those I can understand are more difficult because they're a higher level.
But they did. The 100 was hits easy. That's why everyone wanted the 100 on the map this month.
Yeah, they dropped the 100 and the 102. And the other reason it's a really bad time to do this, as far as within the raid cycle, is everybody is anxious to get the new hull. And they feel like, okay, if I can't get the new hull, I might as well just fucking give up.
Mm-hmm.
And them doing this at this time...
Yeah, because it's not early access. I mean, I think the term early access means something completely different to them.
Bullshit.
Than
It's bullshit. You've got
to the player base. It's a preparation raid.
If you haven't got the Eradicator, right, you're not going to win the Shrike.
Right.
Well, maybe. Who knows how we're going to win the Shrike? That's
bullshit.
Yeah.
If you want the Shrike, but you know, which I don't agree with that crap either. You know, that I don't know.
Yeah, it is. And they made a snafu out of the introduction of these these things because we were told one
I
thing
want
up until a week
fucking
beforehand.
Fleet. I want one fleet for
Right.
one raid cycle, yeah. And I want after that raid cycle is over, that fleet to be viable in TLCs and in map targets. You know?
All right. Well, I'll try and pop back and have a good night, everybody.
Cheers,
Yeah,
everybody.
George.
See you,
And the
George.
link's out there in case anybody wants to keep George from jumping back on the show. No, he popped out before I could say it. Well. So, yeah, the link's out there in case anybody wants to pop up. But we did introduce some things that we didn't talk about earlier that maybe people weren't familiar with completely what happened. After the Wednesday night show or during the end, not that it's related, but just timing wise, it was Wednesday around 8:30 Eastern time. They mistakenly gave out a re-engagement package to all the players that had logged in. They gave them a free Brennus Bat Ray and a bad fleet of Bat Rays to go with it, along with some resources, some tokens, and whatnot. And then they shut that off, and then they gave players that log in before Monday will get resources. Which I'm not sure. A lot of players, and like I didn't get any resources. I'm not sure really what the resources were.
Okay.
All I got was the bat race.
Okay.
I got the Bat Rays and about 400K of each of the main 4 resources.
Nothing.
Okay.
Got nothing.
Okay.
No tokens. Nothing.
Okay. And so that's what we're talking about in case anybody was lost in that whole conversation regarding the Brennus Bat Ray. I was trying to bring it up in order, but, oh well. Didn't have that opportunity. Yeah, I'll see how you're doing.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good morning.
It was good if people were fortunate enough to have a few of those Bat Ray tokens left from the TLC. They could do a quick refit on their the free Bat Ray fleet and make it viable, because the bill wasn't great,
Nah, the bill was.
It stinks. You can't even do a 60 set with him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
I got
you
a
can.
question.
It's dead.
Go ahead.
I got a question. Has anyone noticed that the comrants are working or not working? Because mine don't seem to work.
When's the last time you hit a
torpedo's
target?
hitting.
When's the last time you hit a target?
All the time.
No, like when's the last? In the last 12 hours or so.
Now.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of my questions I had on Discord. Is like, what changes did you make? Did you increase the evade of the torpedoes that are hitting us? Because that was one of the big problems that we saw personally. And I don't have a huge screen big enough in the way I was driving it to figure out if that was the issue. But I was taking extreme damage on my flagship, despite all, because I have 4 comrants with the Hydra nozzle and whatnot that extends the range. And then I also have 100% additional projectile speed and things like that. And then I have evade and, I have all these things to prevent that from happening.
Yeah,
And it wasn't working.
Yeah, well, I'm hitting an 89 right now. Right? Every torpedo that comes to me hits me. I'm not shooting any of them. If I see 6 or 5 torpedoes come out of a ship, they all hit me.
An
If I see 3 come
89?
out, they hit me. If I see 1 come out, it hits me. It doesn't even. Nothing's even killing them.
I mean,
They're not getting shot at it at all.
my Brenner's Bat Ray's got 71% evade on it. Plus, we've got the alliance bonus.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is,
I
I'm
see
not
this-
talking about the evade. I'm talking about the anti-torpedoes aren't working.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mine are.
5 are coming. All right, we got a target, got a ship shooting at me. 5 torpedoes come out. I'm watching them. Right? They all hit me. 1 comes out of a ship. It doesn't even get shot at. That hits me. They should, at least some of them should be getting hit by something.
Yeah,
I've got a dedicated anti-ship.
Yeah,
It's
so
that's got what's it called? Subaquatic propellant. It's got, It's got everything on it that should be shooting these. Last raid, for instance, I put them on because we got them last raid.
Yeah,
I put them straight on. I put them straight on, and they worked. You could see them shooting.
I've got 8 cormorants. I've got 8 cormorants on the fleet.
Yeah. Well, I added another 2 to another ship.
Yeah.
And not one is shooting.
I'm looking at an 89 target right now, and I put it on close-up screen, and I do see the full amount of torpedoes coming out of the Nighthawk, and I do see some going away.
Well, I'm looking.
So,
I've got mine zoomed in now. And
not
everything is
100% of
hitting
the
me.
time. Not
Everything is
100%
hitting
of the
me.
time.
Wonder if only affects certain players. Like there is a lot of bugs that someone will have and other people won't.
Yeah. I'll make you right on that one. Yeah.
I would write a ticket. That's what I would do. straight
Oh, I
away.
have. I've written a ticket. They haven't opened it. It's been there for a day.
It takes a while. I wrote a ticket the other day and took
Hey.
them.
A friend of mine wrote a ticket
time.
yesterday. Virtually within 2 minutes, he had 30 coins in his account.
Yeah.
What did he complain about? Lag?
I can't remember what it was about, but
Yeah,
it shouldn't
well,
matter.
Well,
Yeah,
well, so-
Mine
well, some
hasn't
answer,
been
like,
opened.
your answer is more complicated than potentially what his question was. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know,
If it's lag in the heading, I think it's an auto response that just gives you coins. That's what it does. I think.
I did a lag ticket, and it was forwarded to the company, or whatever they call that. I found that to be a little weird, but
Yeah, I
okay.
think when there was a problem the other week and everyone like,
This was yesterday.
yeah, but the other week when we all sent tickets in, I mean, like a load of guys from my alliance, they got theirs responded to in a matter of hours.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did that at that time too.
2.5 days later, I finally got a response. I mean, they did give me 100 gold, or was it 150? Which okay, but you know that was 2.5 days later.
Yeah, that was during bacon.
They looked at your account watchman. They said, "You don't need it. We can wait for him."
I've got tickets that I'm still waiting on responses, and then I've got a ticket there where they've said that they'd credit 30 coin in my account, and then I'm still waiting on the 30 coin. Got lost in the mail.
yeah, sometimes, yeah. I mean, if you're on Discord and you have that sort of issue where they say they're going to do it, Friday night you might have to wait till Monday. But Kickside Corbin, as far as stuff like that, let him know. He should, don't give him every complaint that you have, but something like that. I had that same issue where like, oh, we're going to send you 50 coins, and then they tried again, and like it wouldn't show up, and I'm like, they're having a hard time sending me coins. Can you fix this? And within 15 seconds, the goal was in my account, and asked me if I could close the ticket. I'm like, sure, it's all solved. But that would be my recommendation for that.
Sometimes I just there's an old joke going. I'm going to change it to this. It's like someone says, well, it's a man and wife. They sit down and they write what they don't dislike about each other, or what pisses them off, and the wife goes, do you remember, well, I say to the wife, do you remember that thing we wrote down years ago? Oh, she says to me, sorry, that wrote down years ago. And I say, yeah, I've still got it somewhere. And she says, yeah, I've finished, And this is how I feel about Kickstarter, 6 years, 7 years later, I'm still writing mine,
I don't even bother with Discord. Every time I get on there, though, there's no one there. I just think they all leave when I turn up.
Well, what time are you showing up?
Yeah, it's probably the Aussie time. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, you'll see Erin on there. She's Aussie as well. Kickside Erin, and she's
Q&A.
She's a QA person. So if you have like a QA issue, talk to her about it. She's very engaging, and she will find you a solution. But if it's outside, if you're just going to complain about game design and whatnot, that's not the person. But if you have like an issue that's sort of like a CS issue, or like you see a problem in the game, she's good.
Yeah.
And she's on the west coast of Australia.
Oh, my
So,
side.
Yeah.
Oh, she's miles away from me.
Yeah. Because I was always like, because I'm used to like Aussie and, showing up and it's like, because I see her showing up at 4:00 my time and I'm like, wow, when's the sun coming up? And it's like 8:00 for her. So yeah.
Australia's virtually the same size as the US mainland, isn't it? Yeah, it's virtually the same size. Yeah, I think it's only because you've got Alaska that makes you a little bit bigger, but yeah. So that's why they've got the multiple time zones as well.
Yeah. They have multiple time zones, but yeah, I was just used to like players on the east side of Australia coming on the show, and then being like really surprised when she's on at what would appear to be relative to like Aussie and Toxic, like 4:00 in the morning. So showing up at work. So that's. But yeah, she's good. She's good, and she's on the Aussie. She's on the Aussie time zone. So that would be the person. She's a QA person. So she's sort of across the board, but if you're gonna bitch about the way Target's designed, she's not your person. But if you have a problem with what you see going on in the game, she's a good person to talk to.
Yeah, nothing's too much trouble for us Aussies.
No, we're pretty low. I don't bitch about the game design too much. It's just, there's not much point. The guys at Kixeye are going to design the game to the way they want to design it. So, I mean, it's like I saw a lot of posts and got caught up in one myself. Where they brought out the bat ray fleets. People complained they didn't get the bat ray fleet. Then they handed the bat ray fleet out. Then those same people were complaining because, well, there's a hidden agenda here. What's the hidden agenda? The old tinfoil hat went on, Some people just complain for the sake of complaining instead of just giving Kixeye the credit when they've done something. Yes, they're going to screw up. They're Rage Prime example. But, give them a bit of credit sometimes when they do something right.
It was good that they gave that one out because a lot of people that didn't really have a fleet have now got some simile of a fleet.
But that was an accident.
Oh,
That was an accident. So I don't know if you give him credit for,
Yeah.
But as far as Australia today, has anybody seen the guy where the kangaroo was attacking his dog? Seen that video? It was on TV today on ESPN.
Yeah.
Oh, where he's by a little pond. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay, and he didn't spill his beer after the kangaroo just went up and just kicked him right in the gut.
It's very un-Australian to spill your beer.
Yeah.
No, he did a really good job. He was trying to defend his dogs against this kangaroo, and the kangaroo decided to as kangaroos do, use his bottom feet and just kicked him in the gut. But he, the whole time while defending his dogs and getting kicked in the gut and then launched, he still kept his beer upright the whole time. I give him props for that. That was impressive.
It's just like Britney Spears. She almost dropped a kid, but didn't spill not a drop of a drink she had in the other hand.
Yeah, my arm is like a gimbal. I can fall over, but I won't spill the pint. It still remain upright.
I got to say something here. I was saying that Kixeye hadn't responded. I said Kixeye hasn't responded to my ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I've just noticed I got 100 coins in my account.
Yeah,
I didn't have before. It must have just popped up. I must have looked at it. So that's all right for a change.
Do we think we're ever going to see the end of limited blueprints, or is this something that's just gonna?
We've only just seen the start of them.
It's limitless. We have a limitless supply of limit.
It's just, to me, it's just. I wish they'd hurry up and just move on from this poor attempt at doing something. Like, it's here I am after saying give them credit, but that to me is just. I look at the raid and you add up when you're looking at your limited blueprints and how many points you've got to get something for a fleet, I'm thinking, I don't want to sit here that long.
Well, the lowest level players are the guys that are struggling the hardest because they haven't got the good fleets and all the blueprints. So they're trying to get all those blueprints, yeah, with the lowest level fleets, you know, and so they've got to try and get, you know, all these specials, all these armors, all these everything, and it makes it ridiculous. I mean, as we all know, you know, back in the day, but you got the special, you got the armor, you got or whatever, you got that, and you could fit it as many times as you bloody well liked. Now, if I could accept if they made it maybe a little bit more expensive in the first instance, and then you can fit it as many times as you bloody like. You know what I mean? I think people would be happier with that. There'd probably be an initial outcry at the cost of it, but they say, well, it's not limited anymore. You know,
it couldn't come anywhere near as costing as much as what some of the stuff is costing now. Sure.
Well, that's it. I mean, 25 million points for each component is outrageous. Basically, absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, but we've gone past limited now. I mean, you get a limited gun, but now we get limited shards. That you need
that's a fucking joke, isn't it?
To even get the special of the gun or the weapon or whatever it was.
I'll figure something out.
I get it. I get it for, you know, for the flagships. I mean, yeah, I get that. But when it comes to the armors and the specials and shards, it's just, well, I mean, it's probably okay with the shards. But when it comes to all the other essential stuff, like even hulls, just conqueror hulls, like how many times you got to win an onslaught hull before you just go, screw this, like I'll just not do PvP, you know? Like,
well, the shards is bullshit, you know. I just think that's just rubbish, you know. I don't know why they put that in there. I suppose I do, because they want you to hit the things over and over and over again to keep going. And of course, so we know the guys that have got billions have now got crazy amount of shards. Well, whoop-de-doo for them. But you know what I mean? How much does that cost them? But the same people, you know, are not doing that, you know, and can't do that, a lot of them. And that's it. The vast majority of the player base won't get everything that they need to fit out the best fleet that they could have, you know.
Well, my problem with that, the limited shards and all that, and how you got to get them, is the low levels aren't going to get them, and they're tuning the targets to having them.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like the PvP. You come back to the refactor. They went to the top end hitters to establish a baseline for the PvP. That's not the people you need to be establishing your baseline with. They're the top end players. They should be able to do what they want in bases. Yeah, if they want to walk a base, then that's what they're there for. You know, that's the top end players. They should be looking at the baseline as the mid-level player. It's like any study or survey they do. The baseline is the middle. And with the refactor, they've done that. They've gone to the top level players, had their baseline at the top level, and everybody under that now is just really going, well, they were supposed to fix PvP and I'm screwed. What am I doing?
That's it, because the very best base hitters can come up with the best fleet designs that the other 90% of the player base haven't got. You know,
and if they can't come up with them, they throw the extra coin in it to get the part they need to do it. Yeah, this is where the problem is.
It's like asking the top 10% of earners, can they afford to do the weekly shop and how they're doing it? You know what I mean? Yeah, and then like, you know, and they think, well, they can afford it. We can all put quite easily, you know. And the supermarket thinks, well, we can put the prices up.
Just because you're in the top % of base hitters doesn't mean you're a heavy coiner.
Oh no!
That's exactly what I said. I said they've got the best builds. They probably got the best builds. Doesn't mean you're a heavy coiner. It means you have the better builds. Yeah.
But George was right. Once you get to the top, everything should be easy. That's the way the game's been from the start. Once you got to the top, And once you had everything, the game was just easier. So you got through your raids a lot quicker. You got through your raids easier. And then people would just moved on to helping others. Now the top level guys are really, they're looking at the raids the way they are, and they're going, well, hang on, this is just, I'm not going to spend that kind of money, and then I'm not going to go and help somebody else. So the guys at the bottom are not getting the assistance they used to get. Then you add stuff like your limited blueprints, the stupid amount of damage that they're offering, and then, I mean, the stupid amount of points. Look at the Greta Dragon. I mean, it's gone from 40 million points down to 35 million. How many people out there still don't have that hull?
Yeah,
that thing should be like,
well,
should be like 15. That thing's, just give it away, man. Let everybody get it that needs it.
Yeah, it should be 10. It should be 10 million.
Yeah,
they're people are starting to look and go, well, hang on, now they are trying to screw us for coin.
I mean, I completely agree with that, because basically, that if you've worked hard and you've got everything, you expect things to become easier. You expect things to become easier because you've put the effort in, yeah. And the guys that haven't got it all yet, okay, they're going to have a harder time, and they're working to try and get the fleet that maybe you have, that I have, or something like that, and I used to go out there and and prep for loads of people to try and get them the stuff to make life easier for them, but it doesn't get any bloody easier, and that's the problem.
Yeah, they're planning for the players that, I don't know what percentage of the players, but they appear to be tuning targets to the top 5 to 10% of the player base.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it appeared in this, in this raid. And it might even been higher than that. I mean, I assume they were maxed on all the limited stuff, and that's the only way that it makes sense to me. But I still saw even those players were not happy with the results that they saw. So I'm not really sure what to say. But I wanted to sort of, we've been going for an hour. We don't have to interrupt here, but I want to, if anybody in chat has any good questions that you want us to answer at this point, because I was back and forth between this to see if they were going to post anything on Discord or elsewhere. So I'm sorry if I ignored any good questions, but toss them out again, and but we'll keep on going for a couple minutes, and then we'll sort of, if we have any parting statements or whatnot. But we got a couple minutes till that happens. So
I want to go for a second. This game's out of control because I used to prep, 400 or 500 million for players just to help them get like something, and they weren't even getting like the stuff that they really needed. They were just getting something below that. Now I'm not even at 70 million in this raid, and I'm like, I can't even prep for anybody else, and I got 15 ships. You know what I mean? It's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before I left my original base, most of the points I got from a raid was through prepping for others. That was the way that I did most of the raids. I would just prep for others, and that was how you help the alliance out.
Yeah,
everybody at the top help the alliance out. Some people would go off, get their own points, the points they needed, get the stuff. Like in this raid, they'd get the stuff they need to build the next hull. Then they'd start helping others, and any points they picked up were a bonus. Well, I used to just go in and start helping people and get my points that way. You just can't do that now.
I did that for years. I mean, I must have spent a couple of £1,000 prepping for others, back in the day,
Me too.
In a previous alliance, because I would make sure on a raid like this, where you need the hull for the next few months, that was the one where I'd really sort of get out there and start making sure that a lot of our guys, our lower level guys, are picking up the hull, yeah. And I used to go out there and I'd prep for sometimes maybe a dozen or more of them, because I wanted them to be able to feed themselves, and then when
That's the idea. You help them to where they can get to the point to where they can help somebody else, and you just keep passing it forward.
That's it. Yep.
Well, I'd look at it. Okay, I'm going to spend $20 on the raid. I mean, this was obviously you don't spend $20 now, you'd get nowhere. But I would look at it. I'm going to spend $20. So if I can get my points that I want by spending $20 and helping somebody else, then I'm still spending the same amount of, still spending the same amount. Whereas now, people are going, well, $20 is going to get me what I want, but it's not going to get me to help somebody else. So we're not actually encouraging the next lot through. So the next person, the person that's not getting help, is not getting what they need to build for their next raid. It's not encouraging them to then get that fleet built and then spend some money themselves to go through onto the next one. So what they're doing is they're not encouraging. If for Kixeye it's about getting money, obviously it has to. It's a business, but they're not encouraging people from the lower end to come through and start spending. They're just, it's backwards.
Well, this is why we're losing players. This is exactly what's happening. Is that before we could bring players through, and even if they weren't coiners themselves, eventually once they got those fleets, they might start coining, even in up to a small amount, yeah. But the damage is incrementally increased all the time, like in what we're taking in raids, to the point that I very rarely now prep for people, I don't do it that often. It's only the last time we had 3 players, returning players. Now I know these guys were good from my old alliance, and they come back. They take about a year off, and I knew if I got them what they needed, they would come back and be a force again. Of reasonably good players, and they are. Yeah. And we've got one. He's a great little player. He's a pain in the arse to other alliances, and I'm so glad that I got him what I got him, because I know that was my time and money well spent.
All right,
And
sorry.
but the point is, there's a lot of other players. When you used to prep for them, you take a chance, because are they going to build it?
Right.
That's frustrating when a month later they're still begging, or 2 months later they're still begging. You think, you haven't built the fucking stuff I won you last time. But if it didn't cost as much, you won't mind so much. I mean, I've had times in the past when I used to prep for people and they'd send me some gold, and I'd never asked for that, but that was that was nice. I just wanted to help the alliance.
Yeah. I've heard that so many times for players that need to have the PvE halls. Now they're off building, some sort of PvP hall that's basically useless to them because they don't have all the tech associated with it.
That's it, and they still can't do the raid next month, and they still can't feed themselves. And
starting a raid now.
Yeah.
Now we all, and I said that before, I don't have them, so I can't really say anything. I only got the raises, but we all got given bat rays, and Magic Mike said earlier that. They're not that well built that you can't even lower targets with them. So, what would you tell the mid-level players or people that don't have the bat rays, haven't built them? What would they need to change that they can make that into a fleet that can at least get some points for them in this raid?
The cheapest way to do that. The cheapest way to do that is, for a 1-day token, it's 23 hours and like close to 50 minutes, somewhere around there, 23 hours and 40-some minutes. It's going to make a huge benefit to them. They don't have any of the other stuff. Is to remove the tack shield that's on there, which is completely useless, and replace that with advanced concussive 2. And that's going to increase their damage, almost double their damage, 75% increase in damage. And then the other thing they can do is, there's an empty armor slot in there, is add the CTX 5, the newest armor, if they have it available. It's less than 20, it's just shy of 24 hours. It's not going to be a great fleet, but it's going to be way better than what they have, because you've increased your armor, in a huge way, as far as your resistances across both sides, and you've increased your damage by 75%. That's the cheapest way to do it, and it costs just shy of 1 day.
Yeah. I agree with you, but how many aren't there only like 5 tokens? The tokens should only be 2 million for starters. Then there should be at least 10, and then they could swap out that payload and add that piece of armor on, and then there goes 20 million points in the raid, and then they got a viable fleet. So now they can maybe get 50, 60, 70 million.
I haven't tested out that fleet, but it's way better than what they got delivered.
Yeah,
what they got delivered was
one more
crap.
thing. One more thing on that is I would do 4 ships that way, and make the fifth one maybe more with more countermeasures on. It's some more anti-mortar on or whatever,
I'm just wondering if the players that don't have bat rays, are they also going to be the players that don't have, the Gale 4s and the Comrades and whatnot? It's not something you're going to go up against the 108s and 110s.
You can still put Gale 3s on. They'll still do a reasonably good job.
Yeah, but as far as the Comrades and some of that other stuff, it's not going to be a great fleet, and I'm not even sure it's going to be incredibly viable in the raid. But it's going to be, it might pay dividends in the TFCs and whatnot. But that would be the quick and easy, like one day per ship. And I think you're going to find your maximum improvement doing that. But is it going to get you where you want? I don't think so.
The wife never done the Flying Dutchman. She's got no cormorants, or she didn't have until they.
Wow, I'm still going to ask what the Flying Dutchman is, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And the okay, yeah, come on, tangent. She hasn't got the Gale. She didn't have the Gale 4s and the cormorants, yeah. So she had the original build, but one of them she built as a countermeasures hull. And she can still do a 108 and kill that with sensible driving.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she doesn't have all the latest and greatest on her fleet, but she's still capable of doing that. So it can be done without the cormorants, without the Gale 4s, with sensible driving.
It should be. Jesus Christ, these fleets should be able to do 80s, because 80s are still a long grind. They can't even do that without major damage. They might get 1 or 2 or 3 or something. They should be able to do like a full fleet of bats, even though they're not perfect. But if they get those tokens and they can throw on that piece of armor and change one special, they should be able to do 80s and be able to do like 10 sets and then be smashed to shit and then repair and then go back. And that's 30 million still? And that's after working for 4, 5, 6 hours? You know what I mean? The game's too tuned in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But don't forget, you had the TLCs on just before, and you got 5 3-day tokens from there.
Yeah, but a lot of people use those to build the ships.
There was 6 3-day tokens, but you had to burn one because you can only store 5.
There was 6, but you could have 5 maximum you could hold. Yeah. Let me answer a couple questions from chat. Serpent Soul asked, Protestant a good runner-up for the new hull? I would say no.
Protestant's junk. Don't even build it.
Yeah. I have,
I got 5 sitting in my storage.
Yep. So
Just blanks.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah. I should charge you like a storage fee for them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's and then Bullwhip Maximus. Should we have multiple ships with the 2 new antis? Personally, I go no. I concentrate them all on one ship and use the hydroatomizer nozzle to maximize their range and reload. And then I also add in projectile speed and other things. And I think some people are adding in additional countermeasure specials to increase reload. I went and spread them personally. across all my ships. I would do it on one ship.
Yeah,
Maximize that ability.
Heavy, but they're already built, so I wouldn't mess with them that they're already built. Just add the piece of armor on, change one special, and then move on.
Yeah, he's talking about the free holes, the free holes that people will give.
No, we skipped. I think we've skipped on to. I'm not sure exactly what he's asking about. He just says, should we have multiple ships with the two new antis? Like, the way I read that is like, spread them across. And he says he has one and that has them. I have 4 of each of the new antis on one ship. And like I said, I have the Hydra nozzle, or, what's the ballistic one? That's the 100 projectile speed.
High velocity rounds.
Yeah, high velocity rounds, and drop out a lot of stuff. And I got 4 of each, so I have 8. So it's basically just a counter ship. And that's the way I've been doing it. I'm not sure how well it's working in this raid, but I wouldn't put them all on individual ships and sacrifice any firepower that you might get from other specials.
Yeah, but on the new freebie, the freebie whole fleet that they gave us, if I was going to do a quick refit on one, I would turn one into a countermeasure one and just drop the extra bit of armor on the others, and I think you should be good to go. Really, I think they just need a bit more countermeasures, don't they? And what would you say, taking off the tech, the hydrofoil on the other 4, and
Yeah, it's not the special for the bat. It's the special for it's not even a good special for
it's a bonus kicker. It's not needed. You need actual damage, not something that might give you bonus damage.
Yeah. So
I agree with you, John, but I wouldn't start ripping off those pieces off the ship because you're going to waste time. I would just, like you said, maybe add the one piece of armor, change the one special on 4 of them, and then on the 5th one, maybe take off some of the guns and put a little bit more work on there to add more antis. But don't take them off the ones that you already got built because you're going to waste too much time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd just persevere to a point as best you can, and just because the time you're going to lose refitting, I mean, you may as well be repairing.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
there's not enough tokens. If there's like 20 tokens, then yeah, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
That was the point I was just about to make. Is like, we used to get generic build tokens, yeah. Now, and we used to get on these 6-day raids, they'd give us about, I think it was about 10 days and 10 hours or something. On the normal raids, we'd get about 5 days and 10 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
But we used to get 10 days and 10 hours, and that would virtually be enough to refit the fleet if you got those tokens first. If you just went out and grabbed those tokens, yeah, you could have refitted this fleet and made it viable to go out and win everything that you need.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the cost of the tokens too at the moment is just
we're crazy. 4 million. It should be 2 million. 2 million. That's it.
Why would you spend all those points on getting tokens to refit a ship when, I mean, you may as well just, like I said, just persevere and keep going.
Yeah, but no, I mean, but that fleet will still be viable afterwards in the SSRBs. So it's not wasted.
No, but it's not needed at this moment to do all that work unless the tokens are available, because it needs to be instantly done. It can't be something that you're waiting days on, because you need that fleet to get you the points.
Of course,
yeah. And the other issue is, whether you got these with refitting the ship. We brought this up earlier. Whether we're refitting these ships to go with your second Brennus Bat Ray, I would be very worried about doing that based on what I just want to bring it up again because that's my big fear associated with it. That people are going to like, okay, these Bat Rays suck, but I'll pair it with my Bat Ray. I'll refit it to something that's decent, and then you take away the Bat Ray, and then it's the Brennus, and it's like, oh, these are useless. It's time to melt them down after I spent all this time refitting them.
if you got a second bat ray, scrap it. Scrap it.
Well, at least see what they do. But I'm not
But
saying.
use it
What
for
I'm
the
saying
next day
is
or
don't.
two. Yeah,
I'm
use it for
saying-
the next day, but it's gone. It's gonna be gone.
Scrap it because at least you'll keep the specials from it. You know.
Well, I think you'll still keep the specials from it.
Yeah, that's what I said. You'll keep the specials. So scrap it because
Yeah, I'm waiting till it's an issue, and then I'm going to do it. You know. So.
I've got an issue. I don't have one.
You got 99 problems?
Well, I didn't get the second bat ray either. So you know, I feel like I've been, you know, left out here as well. So maybe I should send a ticket in.
Maybe you should just carry on like some of the other crybabies and stomp your feet a bit.
I wanted them extra specials, you know, as well. So, do you know what? I actually heard that some people not only got that, they actually got gifted
2,500 gold.
Yeah,
What?
and res. Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
god! I wish.
Yep. That's
Now I
it.
am annoyed.
2,500 gold? I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah. So
I would be prepping for everybody.
Oh,
I'd burn 1,000 if I got 2,500 gold. I'd burn it on preps for people just to get them going.
well, do we know? I mean, you know, the people in World One and Alpha when they, you know, when this come up, that they just smash it with all that free gold and I don't know. You know, I don't know. They before they turn the damage up to 11. You know, and a few of them went steaming off, didn't they? I mean, all right, we always get that anyway. But yeah, I heard a few people did get gifted a generous amount of gold.
Wow.
And a lot of reds as well and stuff. You know?
Shoot, give me 500 and I'll go prep. I mean, I used to prep like 500, 600, 8, almost 1 billion. I used to prep for some people. Just, you know, in my alliance, I'd get them 100 million. Then, like, people I didn't even know, I'm like, all right, well, what are you going to do with it to make sure they're on the right track? And I'm like, all right, well, I'll help you get this. I'll help you get that and I get that. I'm like, well, start building this now. Build it blank. Get it ready for VXP. And I give them, like, the lineup of, like, how to walk them through so they'll be ready for the next raid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now I can't even get my own points.
I used to work out how much they needed to get what they needed for the next raid. Okay, you need 30 mil. This is what I'm going to get you. What they did with that 30 mil, if they spent it on the stuff they needed for the next raid, that was up to them. But they can't complain. They had the points there to build the next fleet.
Yeah, I would get them. I would get them what they needed. You know, the hull, the weapon, the special. Yeah, they say right, that's it. You're set. And I did that for 3 guys at the start of this raid series. You know, of this skirmish raid series, I did that for 3 guys, and they're all getting their own points now. You know, there are other people I've done that for in the past, and they still haven't had their fleets built by the 3rd one. And do you know what? I don't help them people again, or I won't, because you know I'm wasting my time, money, life. You know, doing that for people that are just, you know, you even give them the fucking builds.
I know, right?
And then they still message you and go, what was that supposed to put on there?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's it. I mean, also, there's another thing as well. I mean, you know, I'm in an alliance, yeah. I see who gets alliance points every week, who tries, who does this. Before I help anyone, yeah, I'll have a look and see who's got what, who's actually contributing, yeah. And it's not just that. I also like to see that they've had a go at the raid. They've got a few points. They've done something. At least they've had a go, and now they're struggling. Say, can you please help me? I'm really not getting it. And I go, okay, I'll give you a go. You know, I'll help you. But
yeah,
John, I used to do that. I used to do that too, John. I used to do that too.
If you get the beggars that come on once a month and just want help, think they can get a free raid at my expense, it's like, yeah, they can jog on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. I agree with you. That's what I used to do too. I'm like, you go out. They're like asking for preps like an hour when the raid starts. I'm like, listen, I'll help you later. You go get some points and then talk to me in like 3 days. Let me get my stuff. And then I'll find out, okay, what do you got? What are you after? All right, I'll help you get this stuff. And then you're set. But you got to try. You got to take some damage. I'm not spending my money to give you shit if you're not even going to try.
That's it. I'll take you over the finish line, but I want to see that you've at least started it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's pretty much impossible with this raid. I mean, it's not impossible. People can do it, but it's
No,
improbable.
it's not like it was. It's not like it was.
You know, they've turned a lot more of them now into co-op. They changed it over into co-op. I mean, they only had a couple of co-op targets to start with, and now they've made a lot of them co-op. But they're not all paying out. It does say on the forums that all the co-op targets pay out the bonus, the set bonus, yeah? But they're not.
And you only get the points for the amount of damage you do.
That's it. It says the player that does the damage gets the points for the amount of, like, it's awarded how much damage you do, but the bonus is awarded to both players.
Yes.
Okay, but that isn't happening on some of the targets. I.e., I think it was a 95. There was no, it wasn't giving out stuff, you know.
Everything needs to be tuned down like 30%. Let people get some points so they can help other players. And then those guys maybe spend some money because they're going to need that extra bit at the end or whatever. But right now, it's just out of control. I can't even get what I want. And not that I need a lot because I'm at that point, but it's just ridiculous. I like to be able to help guys get to the next level.
It's the tier 7 boss set, yeah? It says it's a co-op 95, yeah?
Yeah.
3 million points total, yeah? So I went in and helped somebody earlier, and the person sat in the corner, basically, while it was being killed, and then he got 2,000 points.
Oh, that's not right.
2,000. Okay, so that's wrong.
Well, if they, I mean, okay, if they want to keep the damage up where it is, reduce repair times.
Yeah, make them like nothing. Drop repair times
they've got
another
good stuff.
50%.
I mean, they're not going to get anything out of majority of us if they keep just doing this.
No.
I used to spend more money prepping for other people than it ever cost me to do my own raid.
Yeah, me too. And they don't even understand. It's like, dude, I'm wasting money giving you points. Come on, man. You're taking no damage. I'm taking all the hits.
Yeah.
As far as prepping, it's almost like Kixeye wants it out of the game.
But you're going to lose everybody.
Yeah, because it's the point is the game has been losing players like hand over fist, yeah, and the only way we keep players is by bringing them on, bringing them up, keeping them, leveling them up to the point where they can feed themselves, yeah. And if we can't do that, they'll give up and leave. Because if they can't play the game, if they can't get everything they need, because for the majority of players, I'm quite sure, I'd like to think that they don't like begging. They want to be independent. They want to be able to do it themselves, fend for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we can get them into that position, that's great. But when they put us in a position where we can't help them, and this is why we're not seeing new players come into the game, because it's not easy for them to get to that level, and it's not easy for us to get them to that level.
Right.
But they started out this raid with a perfect opportunity to make the community happy. I mean, they had the community as a whole happy. There was a lot of players out there that didn't have the ability to do the raid because they didn't have time to build the fleets, or they only just got the raises or bat raise in that last campaign. They've handed out this fleet by mistake, but they've handed out the fleet. But then they screwed everybody over by winding up the damage.
Oh,
if they hadn't have done that,
they never made a home for that. They never made a home for that fleet.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, they've never. They had the opportunity to just. Okay, well, let's just not do anything. Let's just leave the damage set the way it is. Everybody's going to be happy. Happy people will spend money. We'll make money. They're happy. Community's happy.
Well,
move on to next week.
Exactly. Everybody wins the prize that they need to carry them forward to continue playing the bloody game.
Yeah, they would have
No,
made so much money if they would have just left it alone, because the guys that got the free bats that are so low, they would have been like, oh, wow, okay, now I got this and I can get some points. I'm going to spend 10, 20 bucks. Now multiply that by 10,000. How much money did you just make just by messing up, but it turned it out to be a golden goose egg for you? Not when you crank the damage up and now nobody can do anything. You just pissed everybody off again.
You cranked it up to the point where even the guys who were going to spend money have gone, well, screw this, it's too much.
Yeah,
but it used to be by 100,000 players, right? And I remember saying to them years and years and years ago, right, that McDonald's have like a philosophy, yeah, their stuff is cheap and people keep coming back, you know, and Kicksai are trying to be some exclusive, expensive restaurant where people only go to on special occasions, you know. And McDonald's has become successful because it's quick and cheap, you know, and it's like quick repairs, low repairs, you know, low coins, and you don't mind because you're having fun, right? You know, it's cheap and it's cheap and you've had your fill, yeah.
Yeah,
and that business acumen that works, you know. So if and you know, and it keeps the game vibrant because it's that people don't mind spending 2 or 3 coins for a repair, yeah. But when they've got to spend 20, 25, or 40 or 50, they're going to go, yeah, sod this. I'll see you tomorrow, you know. And that's what's killing the game, you know. That is what has lost so many players.
And this raid has been a perfect example of that. I mean, you couldn't have written a more perfect example.
I would rather have 100,000 players, you know, and keep the game vibrant, and we would have had, you know, kept all the sectors open, right? We wouldn't have needed, you know, to condense it all or downsize, whatever, you know. Because I like jumping around. I like meeting all these new other players and making new friends and enemies, you know. But it gets to the point where you're going to be fighting the same person every other week, you know. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that, you know. But they've never listened. They've never listened to the player base, and when they finally get to the point of critical mass, and they do decide to listen, it's normally too fucking late, you know. So,
yeah, we all got one foot out the door. We're all just hanging on, wondering, do I even want to be here anymore?
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any?
Hefe wants to be here.
I want the baby. What did you say?
So you want to be here?
No, yeah, you know, I'm, you know,
sorry.
Yeah, I've been here. I've been here since, you know, Jesus was little. So, you know, I'll be here after Jesus is dead. So, you know, that might have already happened, but you know.
The problem they've got now, FA, when they had 100,000 players, they could have made it cheap, made it fun, yeah? The problem is now they probably can't do that because they haven't got enough players left, right?
And they're not introducing players either, because they used to have more marketing and things like that to introduce players to the game, yes.
If they made it cheap and fun, like a McDonald's, my McDonald's example, yeah, they wouldn't now generate enough coins. But the problem that they've got now is because it's so expensive to play, yeah, they're not going to get new players.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, or at least creating a situation where it's affordable for new players to come in. Yep. Because, you know, like what we're dealing with the 108s and the 110s is different than what somebody entering the game is going to be, you know. And we've talked about that a lot as far as making players relevant as they enter the game. It takes you know, at this point, years, I think, at this point, to become relevant.
Imagine starting the game now. I mean, I clicked over today into a level 128, yeah?
Okay.
Now, imagine starting the game now, you know, and you've got nothing, you know, virtually, yeah? And then you can see that there's a level 128s and 132s all floating around the place. You know, you're a mile behind. But when we started, even when I started, probably about 8 or 9 months behind UFA, you know,
Okay.
But you weren't that far ahead of me that it was outrageous, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now the top players are are over and beyond the horizon of anybody starting this game, you know, and to try it will take so long to become viable, and so much money because of the amount of damage once you get up there. I don't think I would start this game again now.
Yeah, I mean, as far as returning players, I was quite surprised by what I've seen. Like this level 64 in my this may piss more people off, but this is level 64 in my sector.
Yeah.
And he has a full. This is before the whole fiasco. He has a full fleet of bat rays, Manticores, Buccaneers, and what's the other one he has?
Dragons.
What am I missing?
Oh, was it?
Dragons. Yeah, dragons.
All with
He's got a full fleet of that, and they upgraded his dock. He's level 64, and I'm like, wow, this is special, you know. And I didn't really report it, but I asked CM Chris, I'm like, is this legit? And he's like, let me look. And he's like, yeah, you know, it's legit, you know, it's, you know, this is what's going on. And, you know, he sort of explained like, you know, that was a special, you know, sort of a special case. I'm guessing that player put in a lot of gold in originally.
At a 64, I don't even know how that's possible, but I mean, good for that one player. Good for that one guy, but what about the guys that are still building all this stuff? The stuff look like even right now on the raid, there's Cannoneer and Ironclad tokens for 2 million. Those fleets are junk. Those things should be like 500,000.
No, I'm not saying it was good. I was just surprised it happened. And
well, it is crazy.
I have a friend that's a 58 that spent, you know, over 10 grand in this game.
Wow.
He quit. Powder, yeah, if anybody remembers Powder. But yeah, he spent a shitload in this game. He was one of the big, you know, he was one of the big base hitters at one point, but years ago. But yeah, he's still a level 58, and I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, I'm not sure if this person is somebody like that. You know, that was, you know, in a couple of years, you know, they're spending $5 grand a year in this game, and so therefore, you know, get them back in the game. You know, I'm not sure exactly.
Oh yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, it's cool. I'm happy for the guy. I mean, but it should be like almost across the board. You know what I mean? Like certain things should be so much easier to get. Cannoneer should be given away for like $5, not 2 million for one token.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know, there's problems in the way they're doing this, and you know, and you've seen they screwed it up even when they try to do the right thing. So it's, I don't know what to say. But is there any like, you know, we should probably go to the after show. I've been trying to end the show for like 20 minutes.
I got to
go to the after show. It's not like we're going to end it. It's just, you know, so people have to watch the last part of the show and, you know, just hear people bitching. I don't know. You know, I think it's some of it's constructive. I'm not to say that, but it's sort of, we've sort of lost our way as far as people rewatching and
sorry. Mine is frustration because I think a lot of the player base has been telling them for years things was too expensive. If you kept the cost down, more people would play and coin lightly and have more fun. It would be more vibrant, yeah. And they never listened to us. They just never listened, yeah. And they kept increasing the damage and the thing. And I know a lot of that was caused, obviously, by the original glitch repair, you know.
Yeah.
Because people
and all the hacking that was going on in the game.
But once they'd fixed that or basically sealed up that glitch repair, yeah, they should have then drastically reduced the cost of the repairs across the board, you know, and kept the game vibrant.
Yeah.
That is when they actually increased the repairs big time. It was when they took the repair glitch off.
Yeah, I said I didn't find out about that bloody glitch repair until about a few weeks before it was like shut up, and everyone else had been using it for a fucking year or more. And I thought, well, thank you very much. You know, I've been spending my money whacking you guys. You know what I mean? Like, it was quite funny. I must admit, it was quite funny because all of a sudden, these guys I've been fighting all the time, you know, suddenly it all went quiet. It all went quiet. Yeah, the redneck millionaires. The redneck millionaires disappeared, you know.
Yeah, it was a little fucked up because in my alliance, I was actually, when I saw people doing them, I was taking them out of my alliance. Which is, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was for the betterment of the game, but it put us at a disadvantage if, you know, the other alliances are doing this crap and we're not.
Well, I think Kickstarter had started balancing the game on like how many points people were getting in raids and how many points they were getting in things like that. And that was because they were glitching, you know, and that was the problem. And of course, once they knocked that glitch out, the damage on all fleets across the board was high, and it's remained high since that day. They haven't like balanced the repair, like the coin ratio to how it was beforehand. And that has been the problem, you know. It hasn't changed.
In saying that too, I mean, had repairs and that kind of stuff been reasonable at the time, maybe people wouldn't have been glitch repairing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, glitch repairing was so easy for them that it's like that wouldn't have stopped it because it was just a matter of how they clicked on their base at a certain time.
But at the time, the player base was still growing.
Yeah,
you know? The player base was still growing. I mean, you know, and now I think it's leveled out at what, 18 million.
Leveled out is, you know.
Well,
oh, honey, you haven't put on that much weight today.
Not exactly leveled out, but yeah, I mean, you know, it hasn't gone past 18 million for the last sort of 4 years or whatever. You know. Which just shows you that nobody's come in since, in actual fact, that glitch repair was fixed, and yeah, the game has stagnated. Really, you know.
Well, there was other things going on. Yeah, there was also just flat out hacking that was going on at that point too. So,
yep.
But yeah, this is all good stuff for the after show. It's you know,
yeah.
I'm not sure we're providing much for you know.
Sorry, yeah, I've always played the game straight. Maybe. I mean, I'm in an alliance.
No, I have as well. I'm just, you know, I'm
in an alliance called Mug. Maybe I'm a mug because I always spent my money losing to hackers and glitches. You know what I mean? But there you go. But at least my base has never been anywhere near getting bad. You know. So my wins and fails have all been down to me. You know.
Yeah. All spilled milk. All spilled milk. Here's a relevant question. Does your raid fleet bank res automatically or not? Does that? No. I heard something about a rule or something.
No, that happened in the last bounty, but it hasn't happened since. Where you have like a direct deposit to your account. That doesn't happen. So,
all right.
It's actually been a couple of the bounties.
Yeah, a couple of bounties. Yeah, I just heard a rumor about that, and I thought I'd better ask, and you know, maybe someone else who's unsure about it, whether that actually works or not. That's all. Okay.
Not yet. I mean, that's one of the hopes for a lot of people, or some people don't like that idea. There's different ways to deal with it, but yeah, we're not getting enough resources for what we're asked to do because they haven't increased the bottom of the food chain since, you know, and since Toxic was like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before the flood.
Yes. When you took your kangaroos 2 at a time into the ark.
Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty. Well, since we got to this point, I'll post the link in case anybody'd like to join the after show. We'll still, we'll still be talking about whatever. I just don't think we need to keep on talking about this. And See you all on Wednesday, if not before, in case something changes. We can always do an emergency broadcast. So, Brian's here.
Hi.
Yeah, you have anything you want to say before I end the broadcast?
Don't close it yet. This is going to be a good rant.
I mean, the number of difficulty adjustments is hilarious. They had to make a new, S set, which is you fucked up bad kicks. Like 2 or 3 adjustments down. Between that and what they're doing with the siege rate cycle, I really think it'd just be easier for them to make one hull, just only one hull, only one weapon type, and just give us escalation. Going back to that, you want a different way to play? You're probably not good enough to play either of those ways. A lot of the core gameplay is the same. You run around, you get at the edge of your range, and you shoot at stuff, and you hope you're not within their range. That's most of the core gameplay of this entire game, no matter the cycle. And without Garrison Leave even taking away putting something in the front, which is how it differentiates itself. It's just this is not confidence-inducing in any capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. One fleet, one raid cycle, and we can accept a little bit of escalation, not outrageous.
They got to give us other stuff to make up the build time. They need to essentially copy the build time of a second fleet.
People still have to build other hulls in that shipyard.
They don't care about that. You have a conquest yard. You have a conquest yard now.
Well, you can't build your FM fleets. I mean, there's still low level players.
You should be building your FM.
How are these guys catching up? How are these guys catching up? Because they've got one shipyard to do all this in. The build times are outrageous, and not everybody can coin massively, but every player contributes to the game. What I'm saying is, I don't care if my sector is full of 90% of players that don't spend much or nothing, but they all contribute to the game and make it a community. And for the players that do spend money,
and the other 10%'s got to make up for the 90, and that's what free-to-play business model is built off of. But nothing too profound. I've been listening for the last 10 minutes, and this show is over.
Yeah.
Well, a new question. Is the game broke at the moment? Because I can't get on.
I'm in.
My ships wouldn't move, so I reloaded, and now it won't get in there.
Okay, I've only got the game open. I haven't tried to hear anything.
Yeah, the game was fine until I reloaded it. Now it's not loading.
I just
the load screen's been long tonight.
No, I keep getting an error. It comes up with a little thing, says it can't get there.
Oh.
All right. Well,
Cafe, I got one thing.
Push the button.
Okay. All right, Ben. Ben, I'm counting the time.
Push the button.
My nephew did a quick refit on the bat rays that he's gifted.
Yeah.
He took the hydro atomizer or whatever the hell that is, put the concussive payload 2 on, and he did not do the armor.
The armor was the important part. Yeah, the armor and the Go ahead. And what happened?
He threw a grease monkey on that crew.
Mm-hmm.
With the grease monkey, he's got the 89 down to 4 minutes repair.
Okay, very good.
There you go. See.
So
that's good. That's good information right there.
Yeah.
A little bit of work, but the tokens are still too much. Like for people that just got them, they need 4 million for one token just to work on one ship to add one piece. So the tokens need to be cheaper, and there need to be more.
I agree with that, but
okay,
maybe it'll.
I'm glad I'm glad it worked out somewhat. So that's cool.
Have we got tokens in the raid? I'm sorry, I'm not even looking.
There's only like 5, I think. I think there's like 5.
I've just pulled it up.
5 of each.
They're 4 million each. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 of each. 4 million each.
Yeah. Okay. No, okay. I'm just looking because Yeah, okay, might be able to help a few people get those tokens and refit their fleets.
Push the button.
Yeah.
All right. So
Push the button.
that's Ben. What you provided was, as far as doing the 89. What was the refit again?
He had just put the concussive payload 2 on it
Okay, and
took off the hydrofoil.
that was it.
Hydroatomizers, whatever.
And nothing else.
No, nothing else. And he's
So
like,
he used
Because
a grease monkey. A grease monkey.
I was trying to time that with a 1 day token, because that's about 12 hours, right?
12 hours.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to wait 12, if you have 12-hour tokens, I was trying to time it to a 24-hour token.
Yeah.
And so that's why I suggested also throwing on the CTX into that empty armor slot, and it works out to like 23 hours, 48 minutes, or something like that.
Yeah, but that's if you got R&D 30 and an officer.
Yeah. And some young lady watching to make sure you do it correctly.
Yeah, I mean, all right, you might have to burn a couple of coins on each ship just to get them refitted, but it's going to work in the long run. And it'll only be a small amount, won't it? You know.
Yeah. And the other recommendation before we go is don't spend your siege tokens until we see the flag, and spend them on the flag.
What was the repair with a grease monkey? Sorry for interrupting you, FA. What was the repair with a grease monkey on that fleet?
Just over 4 minutes.
Just over 4 minutes, yeah. So it would be 8 minutes without a grease monkey.
Huh?
It'd be 8 minutes without a grease monkey.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, a lot of people won't have grease monkey.
Yeah, nobody does.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
I don't know if I would spend a grease monkey for the difference between 4 and 8 minutes, but yeah.
Well, exactly, yeah, it's because it's
Well,
free.
don't
you know what I mean?
don't forget the grease monkey gives you other things than just.
Yeah. So it's probably like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's probably like 15 minutes down.
But that's still free in the base, and with their refits, if you can get them, you've got a viable fleet there. You know?
The more damage it takes.
Okay.
Faster.
All right. Besides not spending the siege tokens, and everybody hit, if you think you have bat rays and razor tails that are close to the top end, and you hit the 108s and the 110s yesterday and found them to be awful, at least try them again, because the damage has been reduced quite a bit. So give those a shot, and yeah.
I just got to stick this in there. I tried a 108 my way, picking it apart, and I can do it with pretty short in base repair wait times.
Okay.
So free.
Okay.
About 5 minute wait. 3 times into the target.
Okay.
So that's pretty decent.
That's what the fleet kicks give you?
No.
No. I was just
Fleet
going to
I
say
gave
shit.
That's with basically Hefe's fleet.
And a crew?
No, I didn't even put a crew on it.
But you're doing 3 hits on the same target.
I take one section out, I go base repair, come back, take another section, base repair, go back and take the last one.
Okay.
The last one cost me 5 minutes or 6 minutes of wait time.
As long as no one else steals the target, you're all right, yeah?
Yeah, he nannies it, yeah.
Yeah.
Free.
Okay, so,
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anybody else have any parting words?
And the fleet that Kix gave you can do this 69 blitz target for on-map repair.
Cool. All right. If nobody else has any parting words, we're going to go to the after show. The link's on the right-hand side. And see y'all on Wednesday, if not sooner.
Yeah.
Good night.
And good morning. Good night and good morning, everybody.
Yep. Good night, everybody.